Welcome back to Wavelengths. So yeah. Go on.
I'll admit, maybe it's just my preference, but I actually do dig Steph without the hat more.
Also, that was the lesbian flag on the wall.
Yeah, it was. Well, remember, Shiroi, that it's Pride Week, or no, sorry, Pride Month. Sorry, it's Pride Month. So that's kind of the point. So. And Steph herself is a lesbian, so.
So I'm guessing that we're mainly confined to the shop, which I guess doubles as our home for this DLC campaign.
Dear future Dave, we had to change the lock combo so past Dave wouldn't slosh Irish cream all over the rare records. Here's a hint. So basically now I have to solve that riddle with those symbols to open this record, so I can get this record that a customer asked for me.
This note reminds me of a puzzle.
Yep.
And it does?
It sure does, Leighton.
How did Dick get in here?
Well,
alright.
They're meant to be a hint. Guess I should look around the store.
Let's see.
Damn it, past Dave.
Alright. So we have to find whatever. There you go. Store memories.
Time for a little record store archaeology. That must have been some party. Oh wow, Cradle Snack. I think my dad had their record. Gosh,
that is such an 80s looking band with that hair.
I'm pretty sure that's the intent.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, you can't swipe anymore.
When it comes to mainstream music, you know, like music that you hear on the radio and stuff like that, like I still hold the 80s as the golden age. Cause like,
oh, were you a fan of Van Halen?
Oh, Van Halen, like so many great bands in the 80s. It's just like, not even just rock, Jova. Let's not forget how the king of pop himself started in the 80s, and most of and his best stuff was made in the 80s. So
yeah, for a second there, I thought. Pedro, I thought you were going to drop a hot take saying, actually, no, Van Halen sucked.
Remind me, are you one of those guys who... Okay, which do you think is his best one? Thriller or Smooth Criminal?
I love both, but I prefer Smooth Criminal because I like the style of that particular one better for me.
I'm of the mindset that I think Thriller is his best song, but I think Smooth Criminal is...
Yeah, you said that in our Moonwalker arcade version run. No. Like to me, Smooth Criminal is the best music video ever made. Like that, it's perfection in music video form, plain and simple.
It is one of the defining de factos of rock.
Like it's not even pop, but
no. Oh, okay. Smooth Criminal is genred as, you know, a rock sound, which, to be fair, admittedly, rock and roll of the 80s is a lot different from what people typically think of when they hear rock and roll these days. Essentially,
me personally,
Me
personally, one of Michael Jackson's more hilarious songs to me is Leave Me Alone, where in the same song he goes from saying I don't care what you think to saying leave me alone.
It's like going out to the street naked, and then people are start looking at you and they're like, guys, like come on, like can't a guy just walk down the street? Jeez. God.
I guess to be fair, if you know the context behind, you know what things.
No. I know what the song.
I know the context. It's just I think the song's a bit contradictory.
No. That's the thing is, yes, it is true that the press was very hard in trying to, you know, but at the same time, Michael wasn't exactly doing himself any favors with all the public shenanigans he did. You know?
Ooh, he was not. Mike, I love you, but dangling your son over a roof is not the best thing to do.
Who knows how many times?
12.
But through it all,
like, I do think he was a genius, but he sometimes was a little too eccentric for his own good.
I mean, that's nice stuff, but
Cadicarus flat out made a joke about him dangling his kid over a balcony.
Well, everybody's major. It's either that or, of course, making fun of the accusations.
Alright, so what are we doing now?
Remember, like, the idea is that we have to find records whose covers reflect the symbols on that paper.
So would the best way to describe this DLC basically be
that's not a nice
record
way to
station manager?
Basically, yeah.
Very confused.
DJ Record Station Manager Simulator. That's basically what this is.
Yeah. If my observations are correct, I'm guessing we'll be spending the whole DLC
When you're
confined in
competing
this
with the
area.
Mm-hmm.
internet, you need to get
Not the
aggressive.
worst thing.
I spy with my little eye.
I guess just for me, it's
5,
okay. It's good DLC. It's just not particularly grabbing for me. That's all.
borrowing this for a minute. That's all.
You can tell that this was made on a tighter budget, like, 'cause they reused all the assets that they already had. They got Katie Benz to record the new lines, and that's basically it.
I'm surprised that they didn't ever go outside into the village, though, since you could just reuse those assets.
Well, to be fair, I don't think
Plot
there's.
twist, this is all taking place in her mind, and
I'll catch
going
you
outside
later,
is actually nothing
Anyway.
there.
Nice
Oh,
to
so
meet
what?
you.
It's Silent Hills all of a sudden.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Man, that game was
Also, the
something
dead
else.
foosball player. That's a nice throwback to how Gabe's whooping her in foosball.
How embarrassing.
But yeah, I will
So,
give it that.
something
This
hidden
is some
in
nice character stuff and writing.
supposed
Like,
to get me in
it's just a good, cozy side section with Steph, who was arguably the best character to come out of
Everyday
Before the
co-cracking.
Storm. So, victories where you can. But man, they really emphasize the fact that she sweats because it's hot in here.
Well,
Like, kudos on the
It's
sweat
some-
rendering, I guess.
Those look like
Are
ghosts.
you about to say,
I
Pedro?
spy with
no,
my
no, no.
little
That's
eye.
fine.
5,
No, like, no, like, you can. I can boast on a lot of. There's even some bands from who started in the '70s who, in my opinion, reached their peak in the '80s and stuff like that. Like, there's just so much awesome, unforgettable mainstream music in the 80s. Like not just like there's also the fact one particular aspect of 80s music that is severely downplayed nowadays is the power ballads of the 80s. Stuff like back when Phil Collins. I'm sure you've heard. I'm even if you haven't seen the movie, I'm pretty sure you've heard Phil Collins' "Against All the Odds" song, right? That kind of power ballad. Like a guy's big feels type of song is something that you don't really.
Ended up in Frozen 2.
Yeah, that's why I love that song as well, because
Well, even I'm Just Ken, which is a pretty popular.
no, like I love those kinds of songs. That's why when I was watching Frozen 2 in theaters and Kristoff's song came up, I literally, my jaw, oh my god, I cannot be seeing this. This can't be a 2019 kids movie with an 80s power ballad. And
songs like that are great. Like,
no, it's because remember what that song came about because originally the idea of that song was going to be a more typical Disney song about how Kristoff is trying to find the best way to propose to Anna, right? But then somewhere along the line, like the filmmakers were going, it's too typical, can we do something more creative with this? And it was actually the songwriters, the Lopez couple, who had the idea to make an 80s pop because they've always wanted to make an 80s power ballad. And Jennifer, since she grew up in that era and she also loves that, she perfect, and they completely rolled with that. So that's pretty cool.
Man, the more I hear about Frozen 2, the more the making of that film sounds like a mess. Like, they legit started making that film before they even knew what it was going to be about.
Well, I don't know. Like, it depends on your perspective, I guess. But anyway,
No. I'm strictly talking about the making of the film. Like, I'm not talking about how I feel about how the film turned out. It's just that it sounds like the making of that film was a bit of a strenuous development. But,
yeah, I guess it can. I guess it can be like you can watch the Disney Plus documentary about it, so you can get a good perspective because they were.
and now
It does show that the team was very unified and they really enjoyed making it though. So there's that. Anyway, back to this. Yeah, there you go, the quality, folks. And I'm reading more ads.
Haven loves ice cream so much that Avalanche has.
I do feel like this DLC is definitely best for somebody who likes like that life simulator experience. Because you just get a feel for it. I will say, if you're somebody who wants to move on through the main campaign, I'm guessing this one's even shorter than like a chapter of the main story.
Well,
does.
in this game you can't skip the cutscenes, unless of course you've already played through it once, of course.
No. What I mean is like, well, I'm guessing that, I assume you've been looking into side content in this mode as well?
Yes, technically yes, but there's not really much.
Fair enough. But, okay, so most of what you've been showing is actual main story stuff.
Are your knees
Just to
weak?
specify.
Palms sweaty?
I feel like I'm about to throw up.
Mom spaghetti.
I
Yeah.
can see why a predictor.
Mom Spaghetti's nervous, but on the surface he's so calm and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps on forgetting what he wrote down. Anyway,
Mother Fate. Be right back.
yeah, let's consult with Mother Fate.
Mother Fate? I mean my D20.
I guess she's become popular now over there.
Yes, she's now the town's fortune teller, apparently.
3.
Have her predictions actually been working?
I'm starting to think this. I'm starting to think this die is loaded.
Wanna give this kid bad
Me and
Really?
Alice make decisions sometimes on dice rolls.
If a die were loaded, wouldn't she be wanting to go for the higher rolls, though?
Is it going to turn out like that recess episode where the fortune telling us all a bunch of bullshit and it really gets somebody killed?
Oh, actually, I'll wait till this is done.
Sorry to say, I don't see it going great.
Oh. Talking about politics, well, yeah, that would make it awkward. I mean, not that they have
So
to
what
be
you're saying, honey, is that everything is political.
political.
Fuck that game. Just
You still
Like I said, it is one of the few times I've just ceased caring by the end, to the point where nothing in that game could hurt me just because I did not care. Again, my favorite character is the crazy church leader woman from the 4th chapter, and that is only because she actually gets me to feel something for how over-the-top evil she is.
good luck. Thanks for calling. Maybe now I can start a new show. I'll call it a Dateless Dating Advisor.
Anyway, and now we're reading Black Lantern as one of our sponsors. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. No, what's interesting about the whole fortune teller thing? Like, one of my favorite Beavis and Butthead moments, and I've showed it to Shiraya at some point actually, is in the 2011 revival, where they're watching an MTV show where they're showing like someone who claims to be a real psychic, right? And I love the first exchange the boys have. She's a psychic? What's that again? That's one of those people who think they can predict the future. Notice the phrasing. It's one of those people who think they can predict the future. Love that. But the best part comes at the end, where she calls her boyfriend. I'm sad. Why? Because you didn't come. I thought you would show your face, but you didn't. And Beavis is like, wait. She said she thought he'd show his face, but he didn't. So she predicted that he would show up, and he didn't. She's a lousy psychic. And Buffett says the perfect single line. Yeah, everything this woman says is a lie. Perfect. Oh man. By the way, Paramount, please greenlight season 3. Okay, thanks.
The second season, was it
the recent revival got 2 seasons, but we have yet to hear any word if we're gonna get a season 3. Considering we recently got the announcement that Mike Judge is gonna revive King of the Hill, probably not.
If you want world-class
Oh wait.
fair
So wait,
journalism.
hold on.
Look
The
no
same guy who
farther
made
than
King
your
of the
own
Hill
backyard.
also
Maybe Beavis and Butthead, yeah.
Beavis and
Well,
Butthead.
you never noticed the same art style? I mean, Hank Hill is basically Tom Anderson,
Still
but
have
with,
to pack
you know,
up
like,
pride decorations.
I guess that is a good point. It's just, I guess for me, King of the Hill looked a little more down to earth, at least
Yeah, it
with
is.
the main character
Well-
designs.
well, yeah,
so-
King of the Hill is meant to be his equivalent of The Simpsons, like the typical white American family animated sitcom that Simpsons popularized. So.
But yeah, I'll admit, I did not know that those two had the same creator.
Mm-hmm.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah, Mike Judge.
I know
Task
it's not
quest.
that
I mean,
much,
granted,
but I
he
have
could
the memory of a
multitask, but
goldfish.
okay, question. Like, do we know, are there any stats on how well the revival did?
I do not know. But considering Paramount Plus is not exactly popular, probably not.
I mean, we're to a point where Paramount are already shopping out some of their stuff back to Netflix, so time really is a flat circle. And it's not just them. Now there's a ton of DC live action and other Warner Brothers movies coming to Netflix. Even Disney are shopping some of their stuff back to Netflix. It's almost like the streaming wars have made it that streaming
Guess when I'm
services
done
are struggling.
procrastinating, I'll go get that
Beavis and Butthead is the only TV show that I am aware of that managed to get 2 reboots/revivals, and both of them were good. That's quite the accomplishment for me. All right, let's see.
I guess I've heard that the Futurama revival is, for the most part, good. Few blemishes, but, you know,
What?
it shows promise.
Well, remember, I'm talking about 2 revivals. I think Futurama only got revived once, didn't it?
No. Didn't Futurama got canceled at least 3 times, counting
okay.
the latest revival, I'm pretty sure.
Let's give these kids something worth running from.
Okay, what I do know is that the current revival, I'm pretty sure, is like the 3rd revival.
Nailed it.
So is that meant to be like Gandalf shooting everybody with a gun? Did Wibbs draw this?
Drawings in that regard.
Well, I'm shit at drawing, but yeah, that's probably how. That's probably it. I mean, to be honest, I'm surprised. I'm surprised. You know, if someone made like a
listen to
modern
that
day
melody, I'd go
reincarnation of
tinkering
Lord of the Rings, which I know sounds sacrilegious, but if they did and they gave it to me, that's what I'd do. I just have Gandalf shoot all of the orcs.
Anyway, this is another subplot of sorts, where Steph is trying to compose her own song, so she can, you know, like, I guess, you know, potentially, you know, play it when she goes on tour or some shit.
Not bad,
Oh, when she
Kinda
finds
sparse,
the love of her
but
life.
I dig it. Still feel like it's missing something, though.
Love is what is missing.
Guess it needs a hook.
Oh yeah,
But what
that is
kind?
kind of important for a song.
Something anthemic, or something poppy? Something anthemic. I
Maybe
definitely prefer
like
something
A
anthemic.
really anthemic
Ah.
something that makes
Well,
you feel like you're
I guess it
breathing
makes
close
sense
to the
that
air.
you would definitely be one who likes those rock anthems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a swap allotment, Jesus.
Mm-hmm. I actually remembered something like just to go back quickly to the Frozen 2 thing. Like I actually showed both Shiroi and Pixie that movie like on a call. Like I showed the movie to them, but it was their first time watching. When we got to that to the Kristoff bit, I just said, and now M80's power ballad, and they both were like, wait, what? Excuse me.
Really my pleasure.
Dear Steph, thank you very much for helping me sell my comic. I'm really happy. Blah 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 blah. blah. Okay.
Oh,
It even
so you know-
had, like, I won't say if you haven't seen it, but it had, like, so many traits of a music video for that kind of song
yeah,
as well. Like,
yeah.
holy shit.
It was meant to be like a natural, affectionate love letter to that particular genre, clearly.
So I see we helped Ethan sell his comic. Good for him.
Yes.
I bet you've seen your fair share of bad hair. Oh, good. I was afraid we were gonna run out of boxes.
Eh.
What are the odds Solid Snake's hiding in one of them?
I'd say about a 60% chance.
All those
After all.
explosions. All those explosions in the mine shaft were actually Solid Snake trying to blow up one of the enemies, but he made a mistake.
You see, Dwibs, first we dealt with Outer Haven. Now we deal with Safe Haven.
Also, she has a Garfield and Company shirt. I don't think it's meant to be the actual Garfield. Is it? Because 1956. No, I think Garfield started later. I think it was in the 50s.
No, I'm pretty sure that's. Yes, Dwibs?
Jover, I've got it. Haven, the main villain of this game, has a big beard. This is it. He was just trying to roleplay a Metal Gear Solid game, but was doing a really poor job at it.
Our first pride together.
Of course.
Exactly, but no one else was in on it because they just think he's a weirdo.
Cheers.
Hey, Shiroi. Hey, Shiroi, would you say
When the waiter came over,
the
I stopped
We're
pulling
Proud
just in case.
chapter that I showed you from 100 Girlfriends also works on this level? I mean, because that's basically what she's saying. We're both dating the same boyfriend, and we're proud of doing it. So it basically works on that level, I will argue.
Yeah, one little
Well,
oasis in the year where you don't.
Their
have to feel like
relationship
it's
is
the worst
technically
world.
queer, like polyamory is.
Well, it's part
a
of
queer
the
relationship.
it's in the LGBT wiki, because I looked it up. So
Yeah.
Every time I look at this, I feel
I mean, it's technically part of the spectrum. So
Why do we celebrate?
Not everyone in that group is straight, also.
well, obviously, but like
Generations, we have had to live in hiding or reject who we are in order to protect ourselves. To this day, queer people live in fear. That is why we celebrate, to show the world that we exist.
But it's just like how about this year? Like, for example, like as far as we can tell, Rentaro is straight. But him being part of a polyamorous relationship, does that technically make him count as an LGBT person, despite liking women?
I want to be her. Same.
Is that how it is?
Like their
I'm just asking. I'm genuinely just
their
asking.
relationship is queer, but he would probably still be considered straight, unless, of course, they well, they said 100 girlfriends. So I was gonna say maybe they'll bring like a single boy in there one time, but no, they won't. I guess.
Or maybe.
Well, to be
they'll
fair,
have
it's called 100 Kanojo, as in.
Yeah, it's 100 girlfriends.
So to be fair, the title basically says how it is. So.
Yeah,
Maybe they'll have a trans girl as one of the girlfriends.
but that's still a girl, though.
I mean, knowing Rikito Nakamura, he may be just insane enough to do that, actually, because the guy is so utterly uncompromising in how he wants to represent multiple different types of people in that manga. I wouldn't be surprised if he puts one in.
All right.
Yeah.
Also, sure.
Like he even and guess what, Shui? This means that if he throws a trans girl into the mix, that means we're gonna have an entire chapter about trans pride and how transphobics should just fuck off. It's gonna, because that's usually how he does these things. So
Also, sure. Remember the famous saying: sometimes it takes best boy to be best girl. Like, for all we know, maybe they'll throw in a femboy who is just somebody who likes to be considered pretty.
Yeah,
in
100
that regard.
girlfriends, and one of them is a cross-dresser.
no, that's the thing. Like the typical thing that I hear Shiroi is yeah, we can debate upon who's the best girl, but I think we can all agree that Rentaro is best boy. Which yeah, that's I mean yeah, which again that I don't think anyone can really argue that. So
No.
I swear, 100 girlfriends is like simultaneously the dumbest, but also the smartest at the same time.
It's because
According to the mangaka, it's worse for you than cigarettes, so take with that what you will. Hey, his words, not mine.
no, of course, like it's because one of those things where, like, it's like, for example, there's a guy on YouTube who reviews it, who loves it and calls it incredibly stupid and dumb, and some people get angry at him for saying it, and I'm just like, guys, the manga itself calls it. The manga calls itself that.
There are people who don't even like harem, like manga and anime, who love this series.
Yeah, basically.
Like, remember, people, sometimes, like, there is a market for either, just
Kind of a
dumb
bummer to
fun.
take down all the decorations.
Which that is true. Not that the 100 Girl, I would not consider 100 Girls purely. It's dumb fun plus actual good storytelling to go along with it. It's just that you can tell Rikito Nakamura just wants to have alternate between. Okay, today I feel like having fun, so let's have some shenanigan shit. But today I feel like doing something cool and more heartfelt, so let's do that instead. So the guy just alternates between things.
I think a good way to put it is that 100 Girlfriends actually can be very smart, but it's also a franchise that has the capacity to go to the insane lengths you see in token harem animes, but this time done a lot more cleverly in that sense.
Hell, when the anime first got announced, they made a chapter celebrating it, and then they introduced a new character called Mr. Common Sense, who says, no, 100 Girlfriends anime cannot be done. The sheer amount of voice acting and animation would be too expensive. Not to mention what goes on here is not fit for public consumption. No can do. And then Rentaro throws himself at him and literally kills Mr. Common Sense.
Hilarious.
Okay. Like, do you guys think that the anime will reach far enough for us to get all 100? Voice.
I have my doubts because Rikito Nakamura makes a good point to that chapter. It's probably going to be quite expensive for to animate all of that, especially considering how the manga is now 160 plus chapters in, and they still haven't gotten to 30 girlfriends. So this thing is this thing is going to go on to 500 chapters or something. So I can only imagine how many seasons this would need. So that's why I've gotten into the manga, because I'm not entirely faithful that we're going to see an anime cover the entire thing, unfortunately. I mean, if the anime reaches Spy Family levels of success, yes, but I doubt it will.
I wonder if the anime might pull a Full Metal Alchemist, and if it gets to the point of the manga, tries to go beyond and get stabbed in the dark with the ending.
Right now we have a season 2 that was announced right at the very same day that season 1 finished airing, so for now we're safe, so I guess we'll have to wait and see if they announce a season 3 as well. It depends. Apparently the anime has been successful so far. We'll have to see. The Blu-rays release on March in Japan. Hopefully they'll be successful as well. We'll see how things go.
I need to get caught up on the manga, but I'm gonna assume that even though we're up to like Girl 30, he still manages to keep all the characters nice and balanced. Again,
here's the thing, Joe. Like, here's what he does in the manga. The great thing about the manga is that he applies the same method that Infinity War did with all the characters they had, where they pair them off into groups. Like, for example, you have a chapter where Akari and girlfriend number 15, who became kind of friends and have their own little things going on. They have a chapter that's dedicated where Rentaro goes on a date with like 5 girlfriends. Instead of all of them, right? Like, so he cleverly condenses chapters so that we can focus on only a handful number of characters at a time to keep things manageable. So the guy knows what he's doing. So
I legit hope that he legit is able to like craft all 100 girlfriend characters and like let them all be fully fleshed out.
Well, so far I can tell that he has. I mean, there's one particular girlfriend that I feel like still needs more development to be a properly fully fleshed out character, but man, we're still relatively early on, so there's still plenty of time to flesh her out more. So I'm not particularly worried. Oh, Mikey.
I guess my main point is like, well, I hope he's able to get 100 and not do what sometimes show creators have to do, like either going, oh, the story continues, but in your imagination, or oh look, we got 100, but several of them are just background characters. Like, you didn't really think we're gonna reach 100.
Well, so far, it seems like the manga has been very successful. So at this point, it should be relatively safe that we'll get there.
It is possible that 100 Girlfriends could go on to be the next Spy X Family in terms of popularity. It's not to that point yet, but if the momentum keeps up, although, okay, granted, to be fair, 100 Girlfriends had more of a slow burn and build up of popularity.
That's not gonna.
Spy X Family was like a nuke.
No, but that's the thing. Here's the thing. Spy Family is an anime that has such wide appeal that can literally appeal to basically anybody, regardless of your tastes. Whereas 100 Girlfriends not only is a harem anime, but also does a lot of stuff that is going to throw some people off, like the mom girlfriend, right? So it's so obviously it's going to be something that it's not going to reach the same big audience that an anime like Spy Family or Frieren will.
I will say, it is still impressive that, given its particular genre, that 100 Girlfriends is as popular as it is.
It's popular because, I will argue generally because of the good writing and the fantastic art, and the fantastic artwork by Nozawa Sensei, the greatest person that has ever lived.
Which, to be fair to harem anime, I do feel like, admittedly, part of the reason people roll their eyes at it is because it's not done typically as well as it was back when Rumiko Takahashi was at the peak of her game. Like, seriously, that woman can write harem animes in her sleep.
Yeah.
Well, harem mangas in anime.
Yeah. In the meantime, to get back to Life is Strange, I've checked the PlayStation Store. Right now, the Deluxe Edition, which includes this DLC plus the outfits, is 70% off. So only $20.99 for the full package.
Again, I don't want to act like this DLC is bad. If you like this sort of stuff, it's good. I will admit it does start to feel a little bit repetitive for me.
It's because, okay, like I said, as someone who likes slice of life stuff, I enjoy it fine. That being said, yeah, it starts getting to a point where it's just like you're just kind of there's not really that much happening. You're just kind of.
What can I predict you for?
Like, heck, I like slice of life stuff. I'm one of the rare people who actually likes the asinine attorney DLC sketches from Ace Attorney 6. As controversial as that is. But the thing is, it doesn't even feel like we get to do much because, oh sure, yeah, we talk to some people over the phone, but it doesn't even feel like we get that much character interactions with Steph as much as we could. Like, why not have some characters visit the shop, talk to her every now and then? Like, it's weird. I mean, it's kind of like Dwib's joke. Like, you could theorize that this is actually all just in Stephanie's mind, and the outside is but an illusion. We have got to go there.
Radio psychic, but I'll do my best.
I mean, I joke, but all the same, again, this is good. But if you're not enthralled by this, or if you even want to go to an environment that's not like 2 or 3 rooms, tough luck.
It's the natural endpoint of my current trajectory. And I guess if I'm gonna end up there, I want to.
Again, keep in mind, $12. You have to pay for this. 10, I guess, if you're doing it on Steam, but still, that's either a fifth or sixth of the price of the game. So that might be why I'm a little more critical than I normally would be, but,
I wouldn't say that.
What can I say?
I've never left anyone without feeling bad.
But feelings are portable. You can take them with you straight out of town.
In fact, let me actually
So I learned this the hard
check
way.
something here.
But yeah, I mean, to its credit, again, this is definitely some of the best dialogue we've gotten out of Life is Strange, period. And Steph is thankfully a good character in her own right, so at least, she's a fun character to get stuck with.
Was it?
Someone who wasn't likable.
To do better next time. Thanks for the chance.
Hey, that's good self-help advice from Steph.
KRCT. Kind Haven listeners, by now you've heard me talk about everything the Black Lantern is famous for. Great food, great beer, great
the Black
service,
Lantern is
and
famous
great
for.
atmosphere. So what are you waiting for? One more reason to go? Then consider
It's run by the greatest guy in town, Jed.
happy hour, right? Yes, happy hour, where the already great food and beers are even cheaper, but only for an hour. What a deal. And just when you thought it couldn't get any better, you can now look forward to
Live lobster?
live lobster on Monday evenings, also known as the bison of the ocean. These hefty creatures will be shipped to Colorado still kicking, ready to be boiled at the snap of your fingers. Drop by today and tell them Steph sent you.
Sounds delicious. But probably also expensive.
Let's read that.
KRCT is proudly sponsored by Grimley's Auto Repairs. Grimley's Auto Repairs. Haven Springs' most trusted name in
What
automotive
happens if you
service.
flub that? Do you
Let's
get
talk about
reprimanded
Grimley's
for it
record.
later over the
They
phone?
proudly support
I don't
community
think so. If I remember correctly, at best you have like one call from your boss at some point, but it's just like a typical call to say, okay, so how you doing and shit and blah blah blah. Blah. But I think that's all it is really. I don't think there's anything else.
So if you or someone you love is a car,
What do you think of the
you owe it
DLC
to
so far,
yourself to check
Shiroi?
out Grimley's. Still got chores.
I mean, there's quite a lot to it.
Better head out there.
It's fine. I still don't think there was any way to justify locking it behind completing the game, but
Nope.
it's fine.
Like, imagine you play the full campaign of the game
Same
to
shit,
see what is
different
so
day.
integral that it must be hidden behind it, and it's basically what Steph was up to before Alex came to town.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
I mean,
gonna
admit,
guess.
I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting the DLC to be basically DJ Simulator, but it's fun so far.
Oh yeah. Again, it's fun and fine, and maybe it probably is more fun to play than it is to watch. But again, with that being said, why was this locked behind completing the main game? Like,
Yeah, because there's
not really any big story.
I mean, that wasn't my.
spoilers.
But that wasn't the point. But yeah.
I was going back to my point.
Oh, good. All of it.
Chores to tackle because no one else does any work around here. Shelf comics around listening station. Clean up trash in the back room. Shelf new albums in the new releases section. Find the CD requested in Andy's email.
For mine, I'd say destroy the CD requested in Andy's email.
All right.
Dang,
Just a few
Glibs.
chores left.
No, Dibs. That's and then Dibs was fired from Haven's record shop.
What is it with
'Cause
you?
I would have owned the shop. It was my email.
Why does your mind go to destruction immediately, Dwibs?
Well, it depends. What kind of CD is it? Like, what genre is it?
I don't know.
You're
I think it's a typical indie music.
Yes.
Alright,
Okay.
well, in that case, its
I
fate
need
will
your
be
I'm in
undecided.
trouble with HR.
What did you do?
I screwed
Yeah,
up.
because I mean, I can't very well destroy a CD if I don't know what genre it is.
Oh,
do
and
I?
this bit here.
She said she wanted to work more on her lower body.
Here it comes. What did you say?
I said her butt was fine as is and she shouldn't worry about it, which was dumb.
Yeah. You think it's dumb to talk about your coworker's butt?
I know, but does it really need to be a whole big thing? I'm not that kind of guy, really.
Huh.
But now I'm freaking out. Can you tell me what will happen with HR?
I'll see what I can
Sir, what if HR is listening to the radio right now?
Alright, let's use the die.
Should we really use the die on this one, Steph? This might be more of a serious
do. The most
issue.
Nothing number on the die. A
Really?
conversation with HR.
10's usually good in
Not
my
much to go
tabletop
on from the dice
RPGs.
roll. So, what do I think this
Sure,
guy
right? Would you
deserves?
say 10 is the most nothing number in this sort of game?
I'm
I
back.
Wait, what is she doing?
Face the music.
She's gonna give the guy advice about doing with the HR.
She rolled the dice again.
Hey, it didn't hear what we're doing right now. Basically, a guy called in. He has a female friend and coworker who said she wanted to do some exercise, gonna do some exercise or whatever it was, because she wanted to work on the lower part of her body. And he said that her butt looks fine as it is, fine, and which he himself admitted was a dumb comment. And Steph even said, "Yeah, you think? Okay, like that was dumb. Yeah, I know it was dumb, but does it really have to be a really big thing?" So what do you think what's going to happen with HR? There you go, let's see.
No one is calling you a creep. I know you weren't trying to make her uncomfortable, but you clearly did. So instead of telling some radio DJ that you screwed up and you're really a nice guy, why
you didn't think of doing that?
Yeah.
I'm guessing he was
Apparently
panicking.
not.
Like, do you have this guy has the social skills of a rock? Like,
I wonder if he was panicking and worried he was going to get like Me Too'd essentially in that regard. But all the same, yeah, if he didn't even try talking to anyone else, that was okay, going on public radio about this is a weird move to make if you're nervous, my dude. Just
well,
saying.
getting Me Too'd is not a thing. Yeah, he should have just apologized to her. Go on, Droops.
Talking about it to other people, it's one thing if it was talking to, like, your own little social circle, like your friends or your family or whoever, but in public on radio,
yeah. I'm sorry, so let me get straight. You're nervous that she thinks you're a creep and you think everyone else thinks you're a creep. So, while trying to think up plans to get them to not think you're a creep, you go on public radio, a public radio that they could very much be listening to, so they'll know exactly what you're planning to do, which, again, may make to them sound like you're guilty.
I've been tinkering with this one for
Jova, I'll do one better. This is a local radio station, meaning it only spans the general area. More than likely, some of the people involved are listening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get it. The dude's not thinking straight, but even still, what the hell, dude?
It might sound pretty dope with a breakdown, right? Oh,
I can't really. I personally cannot relate to this situation because in my culture things are a bit different regarding these situations.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say. I thought you were gonna say something, and then I thought you were gonna say something else, and I'd be like, "Well, duh." And I thought you were gonna say, "In my country, I never commented on someone's butt."
No, see.
Yeah, of course.
No, see. Here's the thing. In my country, like saying, typically, I'm not. Obviously, we don't all work as an entity. Of course, it varies on the person, of course. But for the most part, saying to a woman that her butt looks fine, women typically just regard it as a compliment. So for me, it's one of those things where it's just like there's a different there's different thinking regarding these things. Because I've always because when I was a kid in middle school, I would say stuff like that all the time.
But it is not appropriate for a work environment, which is where this occurred.
I guess.
This isn't like a general setting where he was flirting. He said this in a work environment, which is bad.
I guess I can get... Yeah. Like, I mean, I feel like okay, it's always going to vary from person to person on how they take that sort of compliment as well. So, again, I think the best advice is always tread carefully with this stuff.
Like
and it should honestly go both ways too for both genders as well.
Let me explain. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about here. Like right now, there's a TV series going on in my country, which is basically a lighthearted small town type of show, right? And there's plenty of situations that are like this that happened to this guy, and the women in this show just go Really? Like, and I'm doing co-worker type of stuff. Like, and nobody here in Portugal really bats an eye at this. Just to give you an idea how different people over here think about these issues, you know. Because if a show like that aired over there, like if this show aired over there where you guys are, probably would get quite a lot of controversy because of how it treats this thing very lightly, you know. That's what I'm talking about. Like it's kind of hard for me to get into the mentality of you guys, you know, because I grew up in a different culture. So
that's the complexity. Like I said, it will vary based on the individual how they'll take that sort of compliment. You know, some will respect and liked it, others won't. Like now. Yeah, this is why I say the best option is to always be wary. Now, maybe if it's someone you're familiar with, or, you know, it's like, they're comfortable with that, then yes, like, if you know it is okay, and again, make sure not to be malicious about it. I cannot stress that enough. If it's someone you may not be, if it's someone you're not as familiar with, have tact and handle it as gently as possible. Like, again, do I feel that maybe sometimes? Yes, someone can just be meaning it as a compliment. However, that being said, even if it is meant as a compliment, if the recipient takes it as an insult, the first reaction should not always be to dismiss that as something being wrong with the recipient, given how there could be a multitude of reasons that they feel that way tethered to that overall here and there.
Hold on, give me a moment, I'll be right back.
What do I tell her? She rolled pretty high.
But yeah, sure, Roy, what I was asking was like, Steph had rolled a 10 and said the most nothing number. I'm like, is 10 really a nothing number in tabletop games? I usually recall that.
It depends on what the condition is, because there's usually like the DM usually has specific points where something could happen. So like if you roll a 10, this will happen, but if you roll a 15, it's slightly better. Like
she goes too far.
It depends on the scenario and how they scale it, because depending on what the player is asking to do, like that 10 could either be really good or meh.
Is that why she called 10 the most useless one? Because 10's like the closest to the middle of these numbers?
You half expect the rest of the team to take her side, but no.
No, I don't agree, because again, like depending on the scenario, the scale that the DM has is different.
Alright, I'm back. I just asked Vanessa about it. She told me that if a co-worker said that her butt looks fine, her sense is, well, as long as he doesn't touch it, I'll take the compliment, she says.
Yeah, it sounds good.
So, there you go. Take that for what you will, I guess.
I mean, there is the concept, I'm sure this exists in a lot of places, but there is the concept of the work husband / work wife, where those kind of jokes, like, do fly, because it's just like banter sort of thing.
Keep in mind, me and Vanessa don't work in the same place, though. I don't know if that's what you're assuming.
No, I mean, like, somebody who, like, you're not dating, but, like, they're not, like a work wife is not the same as your actual wife. Same with like husbands.
Sure.
Think of a work wife like, you know, your bro, but it's a girl at work, essentially.
Well, but I asked her about it as in if a stranger told her that. That's what I was talking about. Like she said, my wife says that she'll take the compliment as long as he doesn't touch her. So basically, as long as he doesn't touch the butt, I mean.
Nothing wrong with that.
See, the thing is, unlike you, Vanessa is very, I can tell you that Vanessa is very good at taking compliments. She will take that compliment. Like, it's kind of like how you take the free food, Shiroi, basically. You take free food, Vanessa takes free compliments. I'll take the compliment, that's fine, basically.
I see also
take food, I won't take the compliment.
No, she'll also take food, like, but she'll also take the compliment.
I see how the score is updated, now it's 28-6, so hey, at least Steph won 6 games.
Alright, so fortunately I have saved the best for last. In the next part, a blast from the past for older Life is Strange fans, Steph and Mikey from Before the Storm have one more tabletop session for old time's sake.
Now that ought to be interesting. Oh wait! Are you suggesting that you can actually do some of these things in the order that you prefer?
But
Yeah. There's no particular order on how you're supposed to do things, no, but why you ask?
Oh, like, well, you said you saved the best for last.
Well,
I'm wondering if that
okay, yeah,
means
never
you
mind.
chose
No,
to
no,
do
no.
the
You
best.
can only do it in this specific section. Yeah, the tabletop session. Yeah, because that's actually part of the main stuff, the main storyline.
Okay, so there
I
is
thought you were
still
talking-
that given order.
I thought you were talking about the tasks that I have to do.
Yeah, I was wondering if, like, essentially most of the game is the second
Oh, yeah.
day overall,
I
and
should add a
like, you
tally
know,
for yesterday's
you're
match.
leading in the the tabletop thing was going to be like the
That game
last
took a
task of the
lot
game
out
you
of me.
chose.
But
Mm-hmm.
then, they all do.
Gabe 28, Steph 6. You still got quite a bit of ground to
Run by
cover
run,
there.
sucker.
Mm-hmm.
And sadly, knowing the main plot, she will never get caught up to him.
Yep, basically. So,
Makes sense.
so tune in
well,
next time, everybody, where we finish the DLC.
See ya.
Well, hey, well, actually, that's a bit too dark even for me, so I'll leave it off. See ya.
See ya.
Ta-ta.